Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of obscure, well, sort of obscure toy lines from the 70s, 80s, and today. So this week's episode is a special milestone for the channel. This is actually the 50th episode, the big 50, 50 episodes of obscure toys. And I just gotta say thanks a lot guys for coming along on the ride. It's been fun and memorable. So without any further ado, let's start us off with our first toy this week. Laser Pro 9000 from Gloob. 1991. Gloob, later bought out by Hasbro, threw their hat in the ring for the Laser Quest type toys. The Laser Pro 9000 consisted of two arm-mounted lasers that were both the gun and the target. Along with the gun being mounted on your arm, it also came with extra bells and whistles in order to try and separate itself from the competition. These included a softer finger trigger, additional lights, and extra side speakers for more blasting sounds. Megaforce by Kenner, 1989. Megaforce is a series of military vehicles released by Kenner in the late 80s that are also two-sided. The Tri-X Army and the V-Rock Army, respectively. The cool thing about these toys is that all of the smaller vehicles are die-cast, which you really didn't see that much of, and an amazing amount of thought went into each of these toys. They are very original and highly detailed. It's a wonder why they never released the second line. I loved the playability of them, how the bigger vehicle was kind of like the aircraft carrier and the little ones came out along with the munitions. The Roswell Aliens by Street Players, 1996. So this was a really tough one, guys. This was a recommendation in the comments about a year ago that I just got around to now. So I'm guessing that these toys are based off the Roswell crash in '47, and then moreover based off of that alien autopsy video that came out in the early to mid 90s. So I can't find a lot on the toys other than they came in a single, a triple, and a family pack. Most of the toys have twistable, bendy arms, but a few of them are glow-in-the-dark statues. If you know anything more about this toy line, please let me know in the comments. The Other World by Arco, 1982. So this is good versus evil, Glogon versus Zendo. Most of the figures were between 1 and 2 inches, and they were made from that bendy plastic, allowing for some articulation in the arms and legs. Great for posability. Some characters came with glow-in-the-dark weapons. Figures also came with little comic books that helped flesh out the stories and the battles. There was a total of 21 figures, including larger beasts and transport. The toy line lasted until 1984. Another really tough one to find, some might even call it obscure, well, sort of obscure. I'm hoping to run across a few of these at the flea market now this summer. Chargatron by Buddy L, 1984. The Chargatron toys consisted of a larger Chargatron robot and a smaller attacker/tracker unit. It was never really explained whether the tracker/attacker unit was a separate robot or an extension of the drone of the main larger robot. Follow me along. Now, the face sticker closely matched the face of the larger robot, and they have no separate names, so the latter could be the case. To use a Chargatron, the smaller unit is inserted into the larger robot, then you have to press the wide chromed paneled button. The motor in the robot spins and the flywheel is the smaller unit, charging it with kinetic energy. Then, when the gauge shows red, the button can be pressed all the way down to release the tracker or attacker. The Uni Fighters, 1990, Gloob. Am I the only one that still feels like 1990 was only 20 years ago? The Uni Fighters was a line made in the classic 3 3/4 scale that served as the industrial standard for many lines that, while the action figures themselves were rather generic military men, the cool gimmick with this one is what drove the line with a series of transforming backpacks. The figures were divided into 4 different squadrons: the Combat Jet Squadron, who were white, the Navy Hovercraft Squadron, who were blue, the Marine Combat Chopper Squadron, yellow, and the Army Battle Tank Squadron, red. Another cool gimmick is some of the backpacks could all attach together to make a large vehicle. Now, I vaguely remember this toy line, and this should have been in my wheelhouse because I would have been 9 or 10 years old in 1990. So I never had any Uni Fighters that I can remember, but I definitely want to hunt some down this summer. And that's going to do it for this episode, guys. 50 episodes, you know, that's about 6 toy lines per episode, so we're easily over 300 toys. So I gotta say, guys, I think we're gonna take a long pause for obscure toy lines, but of course down in the comments if you can think of anything that we haven't covered over the last 3-4 years, over 300 toy lines, leave it down in the comments. I may revisit this again. I may even do a remix and go more in depth in some of these obscure toy lines further down the road. But for now, guys, I just want to say thanks a lot. I really appreciate it. It was really fun to do this toy series, and I hope it brought you some enjoyment and some nostalgia. Until next time, guys, take care.